Yeah, the last thing I'll say about Luigi is he needs to murder this pussy next.
Okay.
Ding.
Speaking of that,
Like, y'all are sitting here saying, like, my mom would have never let me wear that at 12 years old. Well, I don't think your mama could afford to put you on red carpets, honey. Could she? People who delete social media because, like, they need, like, a mental break or whatever. Here's a crazy
just
fucking
delete the
idea.
app.
No, here's a crazy fucking idea. Don't look at your phone. There's always time for gossip.
I don't know her.
I still don't know her.
Yeah, double homicide.
Beyonce? Well, yes.
Don't do it.
I would ask you to respect our privacy, but please, I don't respect people's privacy. That's why I do the hot topics.
Welcome to the Gossip Spot, hosted by Trey, Godsey, and Danny Osborn. It looks like you just hit the G-spot.
The gossip spot that is.
Welcome back to your favorite podcast, hosted by Danny Osborn and Trey Godsey, where we talk about all things pop culture.
Well, yes.
Any tea you have, we'll clock it.
We will clock it.
Yeah. So let's give a little rundown of the topics we will be discussing on today's episode.
Well, yes, let's do it. We have a lot of topics to cover today. So we have Luigi, the CEO killer.
Dun,
Jay-Z being accused. Trisha Paytas going to Broadway. Barry Keoghan and Sabrina Carpenter's update. And then we also have Olivia Ponton and Joe Burrow.
The football star.
Well, yes, and the swimsuit model. So we got some pretty good stuff to yap about today.
Yeah, but before we get into those things, let's do our annual Tweet of the Week.
Tweet of the Week.
Tweet of the Week. So this is a segment where we find or we come across a tweet each week that either makes us laugh, makes us angry, makes us sad, makes us feel something. So,
Yes.
Danny, what is your tweet of the week this week?
So usually we always talk about it. I don't think I told you mine. So mine's about the one and only Sarah Michelle Gellar. Are you familiar with her?
I've heard the name, but I don't really know who she is or what she is.
So Sarah Michelle Gellar, she's kind of like an OG scream queen.
Okay.
So this tweet says Sarah Michelle Gellar deserves all of her flowers. She's truly one of the most iconic and influential actresses in pop culture history. She'll always be a legend. So she's been in so many things. She was in the live action Scooby-Doo as Daphne.
Oh, I do know her then.
Yeah, she was Buffy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She was in Scream 2. Cruel Intentions, I Know What You Did Last Summer. And then recently she was in the new Netflix movie Do Revenge. But I saw that tweet, and basically what caused it was they were doing like a Buffy reunion in Brazil, and people were showing her so much love, and she was like emotional on stage and crying and stuff. But, you know, I think she does truly deserve all her flowers because I think she's like legendary. She was like one of the OG scream queens, being in all these Halloween things, horror stuff, and she's just iconic.
Period.
And I think like people like her open the door for some of these new scream queens. You know, you have like Jenna Ortega. That's the only one that comes to mind. That's the only one that comes to mind.
The doors that she has opened.
Yeah, for Jenna Ortega. So, you know, she's just a legend though. So tell me your tweet of the week.
Okay, so my tweet of the week, it was a tweet and it says something along the lines of like, one night with him, insinuating Luigi, is it Mangione? We don't really know how to say the last name. The CEO killer. How about that? Yeah, it was like one night alone with him or front row tickets to J-Lo. And somebody quote tweeted it. And they said, either way, I know I'm going to be one of two people in the room.
And it's like poor J-Lo never catches a break.
J-Lo stays catching strays, and I think it's so funny.
Yeah.
Because, like, she canceled her tour, what was it, over summertime? Because of, like,
she wanted to spend time with family.
She said it was spend time with family, which in the industry is code word for, like, girl, you were not selling.
Your tickets are not being sold.
But I just thought that was, like, Stan Twitter is relentless, but especially for J-Lo, especially since she canceled her tour, too, because they've really been on her ass.
And the thing is that that tour that she canceled, at first it was supposed to be a tour for her new album, but then it got changed to a greatest hits tour.
And it still didn't.
But it still got canceled.
Oh, J-Lo, you were over, I fear.
I know.
But
Sorry,
I just
J-Lo.
thought that was so funny. Like, either way, I'm going to be one of two people in the room.
And, like, I guess that brings us into hot topics.
Yes, let's get into our hot topics.
Yeah, so Luigi,
how you doing?
How you doing? So Luigi, we don't know how to say his last name.
I'm going to say Mangione.
Yeah.
That's how it's spelled.
You can continue saying that. I'm just not going to say it.
Yeah, so the CEO killer.
So, yeah, he killed the CEO of UnitedHealthcare.
I think it's UnitedHealthcare.
One of those. It was an insurance company. And there's just so much going on with this right now.
So much has been happening.
I think the first thing we want to say is people are thirsting over this man on Twitter. Like, people are doing anything for this man.
They are acting like they've spent 12 years in the desert. Like, that's how thirsty these people are. It has been lined, like, tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet on my Twitter, just talking about this man and how bad they want him in, like, every different position they want him in. Like, you know that, who is it? I think it's Kaya that used to do the readings on live, and she's, like, reading the Wattpad fanfics.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's how these people are acting. Like, I want his wood in my hole.
I want you to fuck my face until you nut in my mouth. Do you understand me? Chanel. Yes. Romeo. Then fuck my face like I said. Ooh.
Yeah, and it's just so funny though. And so that that new what was it, Joker movie came out this year, and it was like him in prison, and Lady Gaga is like Harley Quinn. She's like going to visit him in jail and being like, I love you so much. That's how people are like acting right now. They're like, oh, he's innocent. Like, who cares if he killed someone? Like, just let him free.
But I mean, can you blame them?
All because like he's a cute boy.
Yeah.
I think it's so funny though. But let's get into it though, because he's young. He's 26 years old. He went to one of the Ivy League schools.
Very intelligent person.
Very intelligent. He's like,
not
his high school is valedictorian.
Yeah, he's not the typical person you would peg for like committing a crime like this.
Yeah.
Which I think adds to the like appeal or whatever
Yeah.
that people are seeing. But this is a point that I want to make is like, I don't know if people are supporting him just because he's fine. Like, I mean, that is obviously a huge reason, but like so many people also agree with why he did what he did. So I don't know if it would have been an ugly person per se. I feel like they still would have gotten a lot of support, but I think just because he is as attractive as he is, like that was just the cherry on top that people are like, oh, free this man. Like,
yeah. And there's so much speculation behind the whole thing too. And you know, one thing about it is that someone was saying how he had back pain and like the healthcare system didn't do him well, and like that's why he did it. I saw somewhere else that like apparently his grandparents died from like bad healthcare or something, and that's why he did it. And it's just, there's so much that goes on behind it.
right.
And so, and also this is like a well thought out thing too, because like there's just these things going on online that he apparently like posted on YouTube, saying like a scheduled video on YouTube being like, if you're seeing this right now, I have been arrested. And it's like under his exact name too. So I don't know, there's a lot of speculation behind this whole
There's
thing though.
so much speculation, and it's like, because at first when this first came out, about like a week or so ago at this point, people were saying like this was such a clean hit, like this was obviously like a hitman that did this, like they're not gonna find him, he's already in Mexico by now, like which brings up the question, how did they find him so quickly?
I don't know.
And like, how did they find out that it was Luigi out of all these people? And people are speculating that it's not Luigi and that he's like a fall guy, and that he's not the real killer, because people were like comparing his eyebrows to the person in the
he
picture.
has really thick eyebrows.
Yeah.
And like in the picture, there was like obviously like a bigger gap in between than like his eyebrows.
Well, people are like, he could have shaved his eyebrows, but then people were saying, well, that picture's only from a week ago. Like eyebrows don't grow back.
They
that
would not
quickly.
be back that quick.
But I don't know about that. I'm not here to speculate about like if he did it or if he not, or if he didn't. But one of the things that I've seen online is like, since there isn't a lot of information about like what actually happened and like why he shot the CEO, they've come out with like all of this information that is like irrelevant almost. And I think because people are so tuned into this, because he is an attractive man, like any little information they can find, they're reporting on it. So it's like getting his like old college friends to be like, he was a normal guy back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, why is that a news story? You know what I mean? Or just like even that people have been dissecting, because they found all of his social media accounts, his Instagrams and his Twitters and stuff, which a lot of them have been wiped or taken down by the platforms now. But people were like dissecting through his Twitter and stuff and like finding old tweets and all these things. One of the funny ones I saw was like something about his penis.
Yeah, apparently his nudes leaked or something.
Well, not even that, but it was like a tweet that he made. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was like 3 letters or something, like that meant something else. It was like 3 letters, like standing for something else, but he replied and he was like something huge penis or something. I don't remember. I'll have to find it and put it here, or I might just cut this out because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Did you know that he was a brat?
What do you mean?
He was a Charlie fan.
Really?
Yeah, it was like, because he had an Instagram post and like the caption was like a Charlie XCX song with a green heart, and so everyone was like, he was a Charlie fan.
He's brat.
He's brat.
But yeah, so his nudes did leak. I don't know. We can't confirm if it's him. Because have you seen the picture?
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Oh.
I didn't even ask. You just said you just sent it out of nowhere.
Oh. Did I?
Yeah.
Anyway, his nudes leaked, but his face is not in the picture. So, like, we can't really confirm or deny if it's him, but the streets are talking. The streets are saying it's him. And, you know, obviously that's only adding to the appeal of this man.
Mm-hmm.
Because people also speculated saying that, like, or friends and family came out, I guess, saying that, like, he had been distant for a few months or something. So, like, I think they're trying to build this story of, like, he went AWOL, he kind of went crazy or whatever, and, like, did this out of nowhere. But do you buy that story?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell, especially this early in the case, because this literally happened last week, that it's going to change so much.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can see, like, right now the friends and family saying what they're saying now, but who knows what could be happening by the time this episode even comes out. Like, so much stuff could change by then.
Well, he did have a court hearing, but he didn't really talk. I think he said, like, two things. One of the things was, like, that he worked alone, and then I can't remember the second thing he said, but he didn't really give
Nothing
a lot
crazy.
of... Nothing crazy, and not a lot of details of, like, why or how he did this, but... so, let's get into the McDonald's thing a little bit, because you mentioned he was at the McDonald's. He got apprehended at McDonald's, arrested.
That's where he was found, yeah.
One of the people, or, like, the person who reported him that he was at McDonald's... There was like a big cash reward for this, for like his capture, and the person might not even get the money now.
Yeah, it says McDonald's worker might not receive the $60K reward for alerting the police about Luigi's whereabouts as they didn't follow the proper steps.
Which I would be pissed.
Yeah,
because
if you're calling and being like, we found him, I'd be like, okay, cough up the cash.
Exactly. But not even that, but you're risking yourself, because when it came out that he was captured, the internet was pissed. The internet was mad. They were like, we didn't see nothing. We didn't see him, you know, and being like, but now the internet is pissed at the police, I guess, for not coughing up the money, because they're like, if this person ratted out our man and they don't even get paid for it, like, y'all are tripping. Like,
yeah. And this says the employee did not use the Crime Stoppers hotline or website, though, which
they just
where
called
is the reward is offered. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that shouldn't matter.
Still,
did y'all catch the guy?
If you're like looking for someone, if you are wanting this person and someone finds them, they should get the money no matter what. Even if it's from like the website you're supposed to report him on or not.
Exactly. They called the police. It's not like they called and told their friends and did all this stuff. No, they called the police. I feel like that's a valuable enough outlet that you should get the money.
Moral story, like he's been caught. You should be finding him.
Exactly. You should be happy.
Yeah. I've also seen so many pictures of this man though within the last 2 days.
As soon as they found out his identity, more and more pictures and things started coming out.
Oh, that's all I see on any website right now is him.
Yes. Which I have not seen, like, in my lifetime at least, like, a case of this magnitude where people are, like, thirsting this hard. Like, the only thing I can compare it to is, like, the Menendez brothers in the 90s, the way that people would, like, thirst over them. Or even now, the way that, like, when the Dahmer show came out, how people were kind of thirsting over Dahmer and all that stuff. But they were kind of more so thirsting over, like, the actors in those shows. Well, not the Menendez brothers. They had real fangirls back in the day. But, like, we have not seen, like, a cold-blooded killer, like, gain a fan base like this in our lifetime.
And it came so quickly. Because whenever they revealed his picture...
Yeah.
It was flooded with... Twitter was flooded with pictures
I was flooded, too.
Okay.
But do you have anything else to say about the killer?
We'll just keep an eye out and see what happens with this. It's still too early to tell.
One thing I could say is I'm not going to, like, give my opinion if I agree or disagree that he killed the person, but, like, I think if a majority of the people who are in this case, or if the majority of the people in America are supporting this man, that has to tell you something.
Yeah.
That has to tell you something. If somebody can commit cold-blooded murder and people are cheering, that should tell you something.
Majority of Twitter. I don't know about Facebook and all that stuff.
Yeah, the old people are probably not.
They're probably like, I don't know. It's hard to tell, really.
But I did see another funny tweet, and it was like, good luck finding a jury of 12 people who don't want to fuck this man.
Yeah. And I also saw another tweet that was like, Ryan Murphy is currently trying to find a way to make this man bisexual in his upcoming show about him.
Well, yeah.
Ryan Murphy loves to make stuff up in a true crime story.
So true.
So true. Should we dive into the next hot topic?
Yeah, the last thing I'll say about Luigi is he needs to murder this pussy next.
Okay.
Ding.
Speaking of that, so Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
This is not funny at all.
Yeah, it's really not.
Yeah, so there's been some new allegations out about Jay-Z. Apparently, he, back in the day, assaulted a 13-year-old girl with Diddy in 2000. And Jay-Z came out with a statement about it, saying, like, this isn't true. I would never do something heinous like that. He put out a whole statement, which, you know, it's just, I mean, it's
Do you believe it?
I mean, these are all,
This is all allegedly.
like, we are not.
This is speculation. This is what the streets are saying.
This is not facts. None of this is fact. But, you know, he was friends with Diddy. Jay-Z's friends with Diddy. He was friends with R. Kelly. Two big abusers. And, you know, being that close with those people, especially back in the day when all of this stuff was happening, you at least know something is going on.
You're at least complicit.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. This is my feeling is you cannot be powerful and have money in the way that they are or the way that they do without being crooked. Like, I think all of them are crooked. But I don't think you can really reach that level of power and wealth without doing shitty things.
Because he is one of the most powerful men in the music industry.
If not the most powerful.
Yeah.
Because he owns Rock Nation, which is over a lot of concert venues. It's over a lot of concerts and tours. They do the Super Bowl. They, like, when it comes to music, Jay-Z is, like, the almighty power, basically.
Yeah. You know, whenever I can just see it being true. And I feel like if this comes out, this is going to be bad for a lot of people.
Well, if it's comparing it to, like, Diddy, it's sad to say that, like, I think people are aware of his crimes and, well, alleged crimes, because I don't think he's been officially charged yet. But I think that they're, like, aware, but they've turned it into a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all you've seen is, like, Diddy memes or, like, the Diddler and, like, the baby oil memes and all that stuff. So at what point do we, like, take these things seriously and say, hey, this is not okay. This is not cool. This isn't a joke. Like, this isn't a meme. This is real people who are really hurt by these people. That's my thing with it. And then also, when it comes to Jay-Z, it's already affecting his family and his career because Beyonce lost like
10 million followers.
She's almost lost 10 million followers
Already.
Which is crazy because it's like Beyonce. Like,
I know. And by the time, like, we're filming this now, this was 2 days ago when this happened.
Yeah.
And she's already lost 10 million followers.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about this is that the day after this news came out, they had Beyonce, Blue Ivy, and Jay-Z at the new Lion King movie premiere.
And people clocked that PR stunt.
Why? Okay, having Beyonce and Blue Ivy there is one thing, but why would you bring Jay-Z after all these allegations are coming out?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then there's that picture, I'll have to put it up, but it's like a picture of Jay-Z looking at Beyonce, or I mean, Beyonce looking at Jay-Z on the red carpet, and somebody captioned it, they were like, I thought I told you to stay home. Well, diving into the Mufasa premiere, people were talking about Blue Ivy on the red carpet saying she's like dressed inappropriately for a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Which
I don't think the dress was all that inappropriate.
I don't think it was. It's basically
It's
just like
a strapless dress.
Yeah.
But
it looks like a big poofy like princess type dress. Like
Yeah.
it's just strapless. And I think because she is well developed for her age, you could say, I think that's why people made a big deal out of it, which is crazy because this is something that we've literally been discussing since like the 80s, 90s, for all of time pretty much, being like, what, and this goes back to like schools and like school dress codes and things like that. If you're distracted by like a girl's chest or a girl's shoulders or whatever, like you're the problem.
Yeah.
Like y'all are sitting here saying like my mom would have never let me wear that at 12 years old. Well, I don't think your mama could afford to put you on red carpets, honey. Could she?
Yeah, and it's just like, it's not like it was an inappropriate dress. It was just a strapless dress.
Exactly.
There's no, I'm not going to talk about it. But
It was stupid. But one thing about Blue Ivy, she looks just
like Jay-Z.
Jay-Z and Beyonce. But I feel like as she gets older, she's starting to look more and more like Jay-Z, which I'm sorry to say is unfortunate. But she's still a beautiful girl.
Yeah.
And she still looks like Beyonce. It's like, it really depends on the angle for her.
As we were saying earlier, though, if my mother was Beyonce, I would want to look like her. I would not want to look like Jay-Z. That's the unfortunate part.
That's the unfortunate part.
Yeah.
But also, I do wonder and once again, this is like completely just like speculation and stuff. I just wonder how like Blue Ivy feels and how Beyonce is dealing with this as a mother and a famous figure. Like, how does Blue Ivy feel hearing these accusations about her father sexually abusing a 13-year-old and she's 12? She's basically the same age.
Do you think she knows, though? Because
I think she has to.
I feel like she's not on social media, though.
She's probably not, but I mean, you have to think this story is making major news headlines. So even if she's scrolling through TV or whatever, you also have to think, though, just even in her life, people know who she is. People know who her parents are. So, like, even if she's at school, even if it's like a private school or whatever she does, people are going to come up to her and be like, so why'd your dad do this? And like, da-da-da. I feel like she probably knows, but I just would love to know, like, because I just feel like the life of celebrity and like the life of children of celebrities is so like insanely crazy. Like, how do you even like fathom that or like process that? Like, people are accusing my dad of doing such a heinous thing to someone who's literally like my age.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even know how to deal with that.
It's wild.
But it's unfortunate. Speaking of the Jay-Z stuff, because, well, when the girl came out against Diddy, this was back in like October, she had named Diddy and then she named another unknown man. At the time, she was not saying. It was like a John Doe situation. She basically came out and clarified that the unknown person was Jay-Z.
Yeah.
So now the things are being filed against Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I want to bring up this fact. Nicki Minaj has been clocked Jay-Z. Like, back over the summer when it was announced that Kendrick Lamar was doing the Super Bowl, Nicki got on her Twitter fingers like she always does, and she started ranting and raving about how Lil Wayne should have done the Super Bowl. And she started coming at Jay-Z because Jay-Z, like I said, is kind of the head of Roc Nation, and Roc Nation does a lot with the Super Bowl. I don't know where along the way they fell off because Nicki and Jay-Z used to be friends. They collaborated on Monster together. Obviously, Beyonce and Nicki were close for a time. And also, she was one of the owners of Tidal, or like signed on to Tidal or whatever it was, which is Jay-Z's streaming service. I don't know where along the way they fell apart, but Nicki held nothing back in clocking his tea. Because as you know, Nicki's husband is a registered sex offender. So, not going to get into that. But basically, it happened when he was like 16. Or 15 or something like that. So Nicki is like, y'all keep bringing up my husband's tea. Y'all keep talking about what my husband did when he was 16 years old. If 16-year-olds are supposed to be held accountable for the rest of their life and never be able to live it down, y'all need to clock these 30-year-old men who are sitting here grooming people, who are sitting here doing this to people and doing this. She started getting on his head, saying he's an ugly alien, saying that he's a stout little man, saying that he has dick breath. All these things. Nicki was clocking this man, saying like, you know, if you're going to come for my husband constantly, y'all need to look at the real men in the industry who are doing wrong. Yeah. Which this is a point that I want to make, is Nicki stays clocking industry tea. She calls it out. Like, she calls it out every time, but it's because of the way she does it. It makes her seem so crazy that nobody believes it until it comes out that it's true. Or that allegedly true. So, like, I don't know. Nicki had been clocked his tea. Y'all just didn't pay attention. Y'all just wrote her off as being crazy.
Yeah.
But I think that is that also just goes to say, there's so many people in the industry who know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Nicki could have came out with this 10 years ago. I'm sure she's known because you were around Jay-Z 10 years ago. So, like, that just goes to show you how many people will be quiet and how many people can be corroborated in this. Like, I feel like a lot more people know a lot more than they're letting on in the industry.
And if they definitely do.
And if Nicki knew that just from being around him casually, imagine how much Beyonce knows.
Oh,
she knows all that man's tea.
She knows everything. They've been married. They've been dating for God knows how long.
20-something years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she said on Hold Up, she said, y'all know we were made for each other, so I found him and hold him down. And I feel like she's going to ride for him till the end. Anyways, let's move on from this topic because this topic's a little... Moving on to a little bit of a lighter topic.
Yeah,
away from Jay-Z.
Away from Jay-Z, away from Diddy. So Trisha Paytas is going to go on Broadway.
Broadway, baby.
Broadway, as she should. And she announced this on her Trishmas tour. Yeah, her little Christmas tour called the Trishmas tour. And I feel like Trisha's been everywhere lately.
That is true.
Because she's doing this tour. She's always on social media. She was just on SNL.
Wow. And
now she's hitting Broadway.
So,
which is very exciting.
Yeah. Trisha's one that's like always been everywhere though. She's done so many shows. Yeah. Like reality shows. She was on My Strange Addiction. She was on America's Got Talent. She was on Ellen.
Big Brother.
Doing anything to get her name known. Yeah. So like it's kind of cool to see her like work her way up on Broadway.
Now she's like one of the most, if not the most famous influencer out there.
One of the most.
She's very well known.
Yeah. And what I love about Trisha is that she's such a troll.
Yeah.
Like, everything she does is just trolling. Like, you can't even be mad or, like, cancel her or, like, get mad at her for doing controversial things because you just know she's such a troll.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember that one of her first big troll videos back in the day? She was like, do dogs have brains? Like,
yeah.
I know they can, like, walk and, like, think, but, like, do they have brains? Like.
Serious debate, topical question we have going on. We had a big Twitter feud over this. I tweeted, do dogs have brains? Because I, like, seriously wanted to know.
And
I think she plays the character so well, too.
No, she's so good at it.
She's very much
she
like...
She plays like the ditzy, dumb blonde.
Yes, getting very much like Paris Hilton. You know how Paris Hilton puts on the ditzy blonde? She does the same thing.
I know.
But in, like, a amped up way, I feel like.
Or the, do I believe I'm transgender? 1,000% yes.
So do I think I'm transgender? Yes, 1,000%. Do I identify with my natural born gender? 1,000%.
Like, she's just such a troll.
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
And you can't take it to heart because it's Trisha. She obviously means it, like, lighthearted and stuff. Yeah. It's never anything, like, super crazy or super serious either.
True.
And, you know.
But what is she bringing to Broadway?
I don't know. The show is called Trisha Paytas' Big Broadway Dream.
She's always been big.
You're sick. So, you know, Trisha, she's just... I want to know what she's doing because she's probably going to, like, sing some songs. I know she loves Broadway. She loves show tunes.
Well, that's another thing about Trisha. She's done so much in entertainment. Like, she's done music. She's done acting. She's done comedy. She's done all different things. So she could really do a variety show.
Doing on, like...
She could strip if she wanted.
She probably could. And people would still go.
I would go. I'd be sad.
But I want to talk about, though, because she was on SNL the other night. And
she even did, like, the cast bow with them and stuff.
She did, cool. Yeah. She was just a special...
Like she was just, like, a little cameo.
She wasn't hosting or anything. She just made, like, a little cameo on SNL. Like, she played herself in the sketch. But, you know, this video resurfaced of her with Ethan from the Frenemies podcast.
Yes.
And she was basically talking about how she wants to act more, how she wants to maybe do SNL one day. And Ethan was saying, like, oh, if you're ever on SNL, I'm going to cut my arm off. Well, she was on it.
Get to cutting.
Yeah, because, like, she was on it. And
which, like, Ethan, he just has this, like, seething, because he also does his own podcast, like the H3 podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, why they stopped doing Frenemies. Obviously, like, something happened between them or whatever, but, like, even he was like, she's such an entertainer, like, this makes sense for her. Like, I could see her doing this. But, like, he was kind of, it was very backhanded. It was like, he was, like, seething, trying to, like, give her a compliment.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because, like, cut your arm off.
But it's Trisha, though. She's iconic.
Yeah.
I love her. She does no wrong. Well, she does do wrong, but
we forgive it.
But, yeah, she just can't be canceled, though.
She's mastered the game of the internet.
Yeah.
She can push, because now, even if she does do something, like, extremely controversial or something that she didn't really plan as, like, a trolling thing, she can just...
She can, like, laugh it off, though.
Yeah, like... my brain just shut down. She can, like, laugh it off and be like, I was just trolling.
Yeah.
Like I always do. Like, why are y'all mad? Like, she's mastered the game.
Between her and Tana Mojo...
The blondes are winning.
They've been canceled so many times, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Literally. And they obviously don't care either. They're still getting paid at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah. So on to our next hot topic.
Yeah, let's go.
So this is kind of an update from last week when we had Miles on. And so basically last week, the news broke that apparently Barry Keoghan and Sabrina Carpenter broke up. Apparently there was a cheating scandal with Brecky Hill. Well, people were sending so much hate to Barry Keoghan. He ended up deactivating his Instagram. And when he did this, he then went to Twitter and put out like a little release, a little statement saying how it's getting out of hand, how people are sending threats to his family, to his friends, all this stuff. And
Which, I think that's so stupid when celebrities, or even anyone, because we all know those people who post on their Snapchat story, they're like, I just need a break for a few days. Like, those who have my number are the real ones. Y'all can reach out to me if y'all have my number. If you don't have my number, you don't need it, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, we all know those type of people. Like, and speaking of celebrities who do it, Selena fucking Gomez, that girl deletes freaking social media every other day. But
Selena will say, like, I'm done, guys. Like, I'm gone for a while. And then, like, 2 hours later, she's posting on her Instagram story.
I'm like, people who delete social media because, like, they need, like, a mental break or whatever. Here's a crazy fucking idea. No, here's a crazy fucking idea. Don't look at your phone. don't look at the app if it's causing you so much mental distress, which I don't even believe that social media can cause you mental distress like that, because like these are people. I think people who are very sensitive like this need to take a step back and touch grass, because you have to think, these are fat grown men living in their mother's basements commenting on you, hating on you. These are 11-year-olds hating on you. You're really that distraught about 7-year-olds hating on you? Like, please grow up. Because especially looking at Sabrina Carpenter's fan base, which are the main ones who are probably hating on him.
Yeah.
These are teenage girls.
They're teenagers mostly.
Like, I understand reading a message saying that you should like KYS every second is probably a little draining. If that's the case, put the phone down.
Yeah. Like, not even like deactivate your account. Just
go make some tea. Turn your notifications off. Like, I don't know. Do something.
Yeah.
Anyways, he put out this statement.
But yeah, he put out this statement basically just saying that his family's getting threats now, which that's another thing too. Why are you sending his family threats? If he did cheat on her,
yeah,
the family didn't do anything. It's him.
Now that I can understand, being like, quit fucking with my family, because like I feel like that's crossing a line.
Yeah. But so it was rumored that he apparently cheated on Sabrina with Brecky Hill. Well, Brecky Hill came out and denied these allegations. She said she did not homewreck Barry and Sabrina. She says she never encountered him before. Only time she's witnessed him was from watching the movie Saltburn on her own TV. Says that she thinks that these rumors came to life when she was at a steakhouse and reviewed a margarita, and she called it too salty, and people thought it was a Saltburn reference because apparently the steakhouse she was eating at was nearby the hotel he was staying at the same day. So people were really jumping to conclusions with that entire thing.
Does she do
like,
gymnastics?
I don't
the way she's jumping through hoops trying to make this story work?
I don't know.
How does this... You said a steak... Hold on, I'm trying to follow.
So
a steak was too salty, but
No. So she went to a steakhouse.
Yes.
And when she went to the steakhouse, she was posting on her Snapchat, apparently, and she was reviewing drinks. And she reviewed a margarita, and she said that the margarita was too salty.
Hey, dumb shit, don't lick the salt on the glass.
And so,
I don't know, like...
So yeah, she apparently... People thought it was a reference to the movie Saltburn. And then she must have had this like mixed berry drink, and she reviewed that also on her Snapchat, and people were like, she's having a mixed berry drink. She's having an affair with Barry Keoghan.
Y'all need to go to the Olympics for track and field, the way y'all are jumping through hurdles.
All of this because she was eating at a steakhouse that was nearby the hotel he was apparently staying in.
That's crazy. But I also do want to make the point, even if she did homewreck them or whatever, why does it matter?
There's worse things happening.
Like, we as people, I'm not saying that cheating doesn't matter, because one thing about a cheater, I will cut your dick off. But why do we care so much about celebrities? I mean, I know we have a whole podcast dedicated to talking about celebrities, but I just am not that offended, because like, what does it matter? And this kind of goes back to like Ariana Grande and Ethan, whatever his face is. What's his nuts?
Ethan Slater.
Yeah, him. Why do people care so much if Ariana Grande homewrecked them or whatever? Well, yeah, because my thing is like,
false.
Okay, it's one thing. Well, here's my difference with it is, it's one thing for us to sit here and gossip about it and talk about it, because you know that's what we do. We're gonna gossip no matter what. But it's one thing to gossip about it and then go about our day and like live our lives. There are genuine people out there who fully stop supporting these people, or they're like, I'm deleting every Ariana Grande song or every Sabrina Carpenter song or whatever. I'm deleting every Barry Keoghan movie from my playlist or whatever because he cheated on this person or whatever. Y'all are fucking weird. Yeah. Like, there's definitely a line where you should separate the art and the artist. But I don't feel like a cheating scandal is that line. Like, if you throw this person's whole discography away because they cheated on someone or whatever, you're fucking stupid. And like, grow up and touch grass.
It would also be different if the person was just openly a terrible person.
Yes.
The person, like, if there were
Ariana Grande did spit on that donut. Or she licked that donut.
She licked a donut, and then she said, I hate America. She's so terrible, guys. She's so... Oh my God. That girl has been through so much.
I swear. She's been through a lot.
People will do... Oh, whatever. I'm not even getting into that. I'll start seeing red. But it's just like... Who cares? I mean... Yeah, this Brecky Hill, she came out and said that it didn't happen, allegedly.
This little Brecky Hill.
Brecky, I don't know her.
Honestly. I don't really know her either.
But, yeah...
Well, apparently she's saying it didn't happen. Barry's deactivated his account.
But yeah,
sure, he'll be back
Sabrina
soon.
has been silent about it. She just had a Christmas special come out, so obviously
her Christmas special is doing well. She's doing a
She's on a tour
that's doing well. So
she's
if I was her, I wouldn't even
albums
be
of the
worried
year.
about it.
Yeah, she'll find the right man.
Exactly, because that man's ugly. Sorry, no shade. Well, all tea, all shade.
Yeah. Well, so let's get on to one more hot topic.
Our final hot
Our
topic.
final hot topic of the day, something we don't really talk about. So, Olivia Ponton and Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow plays for the Bengals.
The Bengals of the NFL.
And Olivia Ponton, she is a swimsuit model.
Allegedly.
Well, allegedly. And so they're allegedly dating because apparently...
people are speculating that
that's
they're
what,
dating.
yeah, speculation. So someone apparently broke into Joe's house, and the reason why people are speculating that they're dating is because Olivia Ponton was the one that called 911.
And allegedly her mother did as well.
Yeah, the mom did as well, and that's where people were like, "Oh my God, they're together."
Like her mom did.
And
that's not that weird to me because I feel like if I went home and my home was broken into, like I like didn't see an intruder immediately, I'd probably cry and call my mom too.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't surprise me like if she called the police and then her mom ended up calling the police for her too.
Well, yeah, and another thing is that she said someone broke into my house.
Yeah.
And it was Joe Burrow's house.
So are they living together?
That's what I would assume.
Are they together? People are speculating that they're together, but apparently Joe's like supposed to be single.
Yeah, because he was dating another Olivia, and then they apparently broke up.
He has a type.
And now he's dating Olivia Ponton.
Who also, people were like, isn't she gay though?
Yeah, there was like a video of her, and she said, "Oh, last year I was bi, this year I'm pan." So, I mean...
I guess she's pansexual.
Yeah, so...
Allegedly.
I mean, who knows with it. But what makes this case interesting, though, is that this is the third NFL player's house that was broken into recently. This happened to Travis Kelce, and this also happened to Patrick Mahomes.
Both of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, and now we have Joe Burrow.
Of the Bengals.
Which, and you were referring this to...
yeah, this reminds me of like the bling ring.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? And it was like the late 2000s, or maybe it was like mid 2000s. I don't remember exactly when. There was like a few teenagers in LA that were like robbing famous people's homes. And Paris Hilton was one of them. I can't remember who else they got. But it was basically like people robbing celebrities, and they couldn't find out who did it.
Yeah.
So it's like, is this like the NFL bling ring?
It could be.
Is it?
I mean, we're going to have to see. They got Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, though, which are two of the biggest
players
ever. Or not ever, but like right now, ever. Currently. And I mean, I don't know sports. I don't know. I didn't even know.
Where's Miles when you need him?
Yeah, Miles should have been here this week, but it's fine. He's busy. I want to know, though, if people are going to keep breaking into NFL players' houses or what.
How long until they catch these people?
I don't know.
Well, okay. I guess that wraps up our hot topics. That wraps up this week's episode.
Yeah.
This is it for Danny. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap for this bitch. And this might also be the final time we're sitting together on this bed.
We might have to jump on the Zoom from here on out.
Danny is moving to another state.
I am. I'm about to graduate school. So
he's going back home.
We won't be sitting in this bed together.
It may be a second before we have an episode again.
I know.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Gossip Spot Podcast. Make sure you guys come back every week to check for the episodes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Some more things coming, not just this podcast, but hopefully some more stuff in the future too.
See what happens.
Just see what happens.
Let us know if there's something you like, something you didn't like, something you want us to talk about, something you don't want us to talk about, something you're sick of us talking about.
Nicki Minaj.
Literally, we'll see what happens. Let us know what you're...
All right, guys. Well, we will see you
next time. Next one. Bye, guys. Oh.